Hi my dear friends, welcome back to English class. Don't you remember Mikhaili, the 14-year-old boy who carries his newborn younger brother on his back in a sack? Hope you remember his experiences from Anatolian camp. Did he get support from the Anatolians? No, they chased him away only because of the strange shape of his younger brother. He ran away from the Anatolian camp and sat in the side of a shed. In the last class, I asked you to prepare the thoughts of Mikhaili. Have you written it? I am sure you have written it. Very good, my dear children. What thoughts might have come in the mind of Mikhaili? Did you include these ideas? The first thought of Mikhaili might be, if my parents were alive. What would happen if his parents were alive? He wouldn't be an orphan. His life would be changed totally. So that might be his first thought. Then he might thought that what wrong did my younger brother do? Why did those Anatolians chase me away? What should I do now? And you can see many other hints here. You may include these ideas also in the thoughts that you have written if it is not there. My dear children, all of you please open your textbook at page number 46. When he raised his head, a man stood before him, gazing down upon him. Mikhaili recognized the Chinaman who often came to the camp to sell paper knickknacks and charms which no one ever bought from anywhere. Often they mocked him because of his color and his squint eyes. Mikhaili saw that he was looking gently down at him and moving his lips as though to speak. Finally, the Chinaman said, "You mustn't cry, boy." Then timidly, "Come with me." Mikhali's only answer was to shake his head negatively. He longed to flee. He had heard so many horrors about the cruelty of the Orientals. Yet the man remained there and did not budge. So, being in great distress, Mikhali followed him. What more awful thing could happen to him? As they walked along, he stumbled weakly and almost fell with the child. The Chinaman came to him and taking the baby in his arms, tenderly pressed it to him. When Mikhali raised his head, he saw a Chinaman standing very near to him. He had seen this Chinaman earlier in the Armenian camp when he came to sell knickknacks. Have you heard the word knickknack? Knickknack means small decorative objects. Here, the Chinaman asked the boy not to cry. He consoled him and later he asked him to follow him. Mikhali rejected his words and hesitated to go with him because Mikhali had heard about the cruelties of the Orientals. Have you heard the word Orientals? Orientals are the people from East Asian countries. Mikhali had heard about the cruelties of Orientals. That is why he hesitated to go with the Chinaman. But later he decided to follow him because he did not have any other option in front of him. So he stood and followed the Chinaman. While Mikhali was about to fall down, the Chinaman took the baby in his arms. Here we have another question, the 14th one. In what way is the Chinaman different from the refugees? Can you give the answer? Any probable answer? Yes, the Chinaman was compassionate enough and he could console Mikhali. Okay, very good, my dear children. He was compassionate and he could console Mikhali. What is the meaning of the word compassion? Compassion is sympathetic concern towards the sufferings of others. Sahanubhuti അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അനുകമ്പ. Let's go through the next paragraphs. They crossed several empty lots and then the man took a little lane that led them to a sort of wooden cabin surrounded by a very small garden. He stopped before the door and clapped his hands twice. A few light steps inside and a tiny person came to open the door. Seeing the men, her face reddened and then a happy smile lit it up. She made a brief courtesy to them. As Mikhali remained there, hesitatingly rooted to the threshold, the Chinaman said to him, "Come in, then. Do not be afraid. This is my wife." Mikhali went into the room, rather large it seemed, separated in the middle by a colored paper screen. It was all so clean and neat, though very poor looking. In the corner, he noticed a wicker cradle. My dear children, what is wicker cradle? It's a kind of baby's cradle. You can see the image here. Mikhali followed the Chinaman and they reached in front of a sort of wooden cabin. There, the Chinaman clapped twice and his wife opened the door with a smile. Smile is considered as the best expression of personality. Let me ask you two questions. From where does the smile come out? Can you say? From where does the smile come out? Yeah, very good. It comes out from our minds. Another question. Through what does it come out? Can you say? ഏതിലെ കൂടിയാണ് എവിടെ കൂടിയാണ് ഇത് പുറത്തേക്ക് വരുന്നത്? പുഞ്ചിരി? Try. No, my dear, it is not through our mouths. Yes, it comes out through our eyes. Smile should come out through our eyes. The Chinaman's wife smiled and showed an action of courtesy. Courtesy is a behavior or action of politeness. When Mikali hesitatingly stood near the threshold, the Chinaman insisted him to enter the house. He found the house is very neat and tidy. In a corner, he noticed a wicker cradle also. Here there is a question. How did the Chinaman's wife behave? Did you notice the behavior of Chinaman's wife? How did she behave? She smiled and showed an action of courtesy. She smiled and showed an action of courtesy. Okay, my dear ones. Now I'm sure all of you are very happy because finally Mikali got a refuge.
My dear boy, why are you crying? Don't worry. Come with me. Why can't you find a job? Didn't any woman in your camp give it milk?
I went to the Anatolian camp, hoping that someone would give it breast milk. But they also chased me away. My mother died immediately after the birth of my brother.
What a pity. Let's go to my house. I'm sure my wife will do something.
Shall we go through the next paragraphs? That's my baby, said the young woman, cocking her head graciously to one side and smiling at him. He is very tiny and very beautiful. Come and see. Mikali went up closer and silently admired it. A chubby baby, but lately out of the darkness of the maternal body, slept peacefully covered with a gold brocade cloth like a little king. Then the husband called his wife over. He told her to sit on a straw mat. Without a word, she sat down on her lap, the little famished one, bowing deeply before her. The woman leaned over with astonishment and drew back the covering in which the child was wrapped. It appeared to her in all its skeletonic horror. She gave a cry of immense pity. then pressed the baby to her heart, giving it the breast. Then, with a gesture of modesty, she brought forward a flap of her robe over the milk-swollen breast and the poor, gluttonous infant suckling there. The Chinaman's wife raised her face towards the cradle and showed her baby. Mikali found out a chubby baby in the cradle. Chubby means slightly fat and attractive. The Chinaman asked his wife to sit and he kept the child on her lap. Without asking a word, she just removed the cover of the infant. When she removed the cover, she made a cry of immense pity. Then she pressed the babe to her heart and started to give it breast milk. Here we can find out the answer of 16th question. The question is, what did the Chinaman's wife do when she saw the famished infant? What did she do? Though she made a cry of pity, suddenly she pressed the child to her heart and gave it breast milk. Here, the Chinaman's wife shows the real maternity. The story says that there is no boundary for love and sympathy. Love crosses borders and barriers. So, my dear children, we cannot say from whom we will get love and care. In this chapter, the writer Lilika Nakos tries to convey certain great ideas. One is the real maternity, what we have seen from the Chinaman's wife. Second one is the real brotherhood and love that we have seen there in the character of Mikali. Then the problems of refugees, universal brotherhood, etc. My dear children, Mikali is a divine symbol of real brotherhood. Now, may I request you to prepare a character sketch of Mikali based on the given hints. Here I have given you the importance of the character, the bond and affection between Mikali and his younger brother, the physical features of Mikali, like he is 14 years old, healthy, robust, loneliness of Mikali, sufferings that Mikali faced, etc. You may use these hints and prepare a very good character sketch of Mikali. Okay, my dear children, I would like to give you one more assignment. Suppose Mikali narrates his story to you. Attempt the likely narrative. In a narrative, whatever things should be there, you have to develop the idea properly. There should be a proper beginning and ending. You have to use apt words. There should be a flow of sentences sequentially. After writing all these, don't forget to give a proper title. Then it will be a very good narrative. Write it in your notebook and surely you have to submit it to your teacher. My dear children, let me conclude the story maternity. Stay home, stay safe. Myself Biju Matthew signing off. Thank you.